gameranx presents another episode of Before You Buy, the show where we give you some straight-up gameplay and some first impressions of the latest games releasing. As usual, I'm Jake Baldino, and I'm really tired. I've been playing so many games, but it's the busy season, and we got another one, Ball Xenoverse 2, coming off pretty hot off the heels after the first game. I'm surprised we're getting another release of another Xenoverse this quickly. Also, sorry we never got around to covering the first game. I definitely saw all of your comments and tweets, so we made sure to cover Xenoverse 2 upon release. We had to. I'm definitely a little bit mixed on this one, and I'll explain why, but let's talk about the basic premise. What's really going on here is that it's very similar to the first game in terms of setup, but it's now later on in the future, and Toki City has now become Kanton City. It's a much bigger hub world, and you create your own character and you enter the world of Dragon Ball, and it's up to you to join the Time Patrol Force and basically police the Dragon Ball timeline and correct any inconsistencies within it. Like the first game, I do think this is a clever way to kind of give a setup to creating your own character and injecting you into the world of Dragon Ball Z and allowing you to play out things that happened and also kind of just enjoy some what-if scenarios to kind of shake things up. Like the last game, Ball Xenoverse 2 definitely succeeds in that case. Here, when you start out, you create a new character once again, and character creation still leaves a lot to be desired. It's a little bit more fleshed out than last time, but it's still just not really enough, at least for me personally. I do like all the different choices of types of heroes you can make, but it's also kind of a shame that you can't just import your character from the last game, but they explain why. It's a different game, and you can actually upload your save from the previous game, but without spoiling anything, it's pretty superficial, and it doesn't really do anything or add anything to the game. Don't expect any wildly new and crazy things for Ball Xenoverse 2, but expect some nice improvements and tweaks with things and problems that the first game had, but also be warned that the issues that the first game had probably mostly roll over to the second for most people. Well, with this game, I do kind of question the whole setup of the hub world scenario and everything within it. Also, yes, I named my character Sil Bill. That was really stupid, but whatever, deal with it. It is worth noting that this time around, there are no load times. It is one big open hub world with little different areas to explore, lots of things to do, and they're not broken up by loading screens, and I really appreciate that. You can get around very quickly through flying or operating vehicles that you can unlock and purchase, but I gotta say, the hub world music for some reason really got to me. It is so grating and annoying.
Greetings.
But at least the hub world has enough going on. There's lots of people to talk to, there's characters from the Dragon Ball universe that you can train with, there's items to find and fighting abilities, there's shops on shops on shops for all different things like clothing, accessories, and potions. There's tons of characters to talk to, and then there's leaderboards you can check, and also you can sign up and go on multiplayer missions with other people. And I think that's a really big improvement because now there are more parallel quests, and that's awesome. But like I said, me personally, I can do without the hub world. I don't really need all that. I just kind of want to play the meat and potatoes of the game. And that's where Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is definitely the best. The combat here is really damn solid. It's fast, it's fun, it's varied, and I like it a lot. It is definitely not perfect. Most notably, the camera can sometimes be really awesome and really change angles when you're fighting to make it cinematic, but then also it can be really distracting when it gets stuck on environments very often when you're in close quarters. Things get really janky here and there. Also, both enemy and cooperative AI is not very good. They're usually embarrassing, and a lot of your co-op buddies that are being run by the computer often die very quickly. But I really do like the way Xenoverse 2 amps up the difficulty, and it's really up to you to go back to the hub world and do different things and train harder to go back into the time patrol mode and progress through the main missions, but you're only going to be able to do that if you do take the time to get better. And honestly, the more fighting in these games that I can do, the better, because I do like the fighting system. There's heavy and light attacks, you can hold the triggers to activate special attacks, there's long-range ki blasts, and the ability to just freely run, fly, and jump around the environment at high speeds is just straight up good. Not to mention the fact that I think this game looks pretty damn good. It looks like a Dragon Ball cartoon. The style looks like the anime, and cutscenes are recreated with love, and you can totally tell that. This game does exist simply out of a love for Dragon Ball, and that's honestly where it's the best. I think fans are going to find a lot to love here. If you wanted more Dragon Ball Xenoverse, you got it with Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. If you're not the biggest fan, I would say this isn't an immediate must-buy for you. I think you should look into it a little more and see if it's really up your alley, because it is by no means a perfect game, but there is a lot of fun to be had. When you're flying around with your friends or the computer fighting Vegeta or fighting Frieza or whoever at high speeds, it just feels fun, responsive, and good. If you don't level up, though, sometimes missions can just feel a little bit more of a grind. It takes a while to whittle down some of the boss enemies' health, and that can be lame, coupled with the hub world, which I just think isn't really just my cup of tea. I think there is a good balance of pros and cons for Xenoverse 2. And as much as I have some criticisms for this fairly decent game, I do want to reiterate that Dragon Ball Z fans are going to have a lot of fun here. So guys, that's Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. A pretty simple game to talk about, at least on my end, but like I said, there are a fair amount of pros and cons, and of course I've thrown in my personal opinion, so I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. If you have been playing Xenoverse 2, are you into it? If you're a diehard Dragon Ball fan, are you feeling it? Or if you're just kind of a casual fan who hopped in, is it enough for you? And do you like the combat? I enjoyed it a lot. I found some people complaining that it does get repetitive after a while. For me, it only got a little repetitive. It didn't bother me enough. I ended up playing through the whole game. But I want to hear whatever you have to say about Dragon Ball Xenoverse down in the comments below. You guys know the deal too. Clicking the like button helps us out a ton and lets me do more before you buys. And subscribing if you're new is a great idea because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.